Hello everybody, this is your main man Keith here from Keith Place PS4 927. Happy Tuesday afternoon to all my awesome viewers on this awesome channel. We are in Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals for the 12-13 Miami Heat series, road to the NBA Finals. So if we win this episode, we will advance on to the NBA Finals. But if we lose an episode, we are going to have to play one more game until we win, and then we could advance on to the NBA Finals. So from the looks of it on the bracket, the Utah Jazz, the 97-98 Jazz team, is leading the Western Conference Series 3-1 over the 03-04 Timberwolves. So the Jazz are for sure going to be the winners of the Western Conference, and we'll definitely win the Eastern Conference for sure, and then we'll battle each other off in the NBA Finals. So we'll show you the uniforms, and we'll see you guys at tip-off. Alright, so the Detroit Pistons are going to be wearing their white home uniforms on the road in the American Airlines Arena in Miami, Florida. Meanwhile, for the 12-13 Heat, they're going to be wearing their classic all-black alternates from the 2011-12 season. So without a further ado, we'll see yins at tip-off. Alright, it is tip-off time here in South Florida, and the 88-89 Pistons have won it. So now it is Isaiah Thomas out on the court for the Pistons, and he is going to get a layup in the paint for 2 points. So now it is going to be a 2-0 Detroit Pistons lead. And the Akron, Ohio native LeBron James gets it in there for 2. And it is evenly tied up 2-2. And it is Isaiah Thomas out on the court for the Pistons, losing the basketball. And LeBron James, he is going to knock a three-pointer down, and it's now going to be 5-2. So now Isaiah Thomas out on the court for the Pistons, going to pass over to Mark Aguirre, and Mark Aguirre is going to pass over to Isaiah Thomas, and then Dennis Rodman gets it in there. So Isaiah Thomas will pick up an assist. So Shane Battier, I'm going to pass it over to Chalmers, and then Wade. And it looks like Dwayne Wade is going to knock a 3 down, and he will. And it is now 8-4 here in South Florida. So now Thomas going to pass it over to Rodman. Isaiah Thomas with the assist. We're going to pass it over to the Akron, Ohio native who went to St. Vincent St. Mary High School in Akron. LeBron James gets it in there for 2. 7 points for LeBron James so far in this episode. I'm really surprised to see how much he's really progressed throughout this series. I mean, he did end up being player of the game for most of the episodes that the Heat had won. So now Wade gonna fire it over to Bosch, but then it turns out we hand it off to the Pistons. And Mark Aguirre gets it in there, so it is evenly tied up 10-10. So I'm going to pass it over, intercept that off to the Pistons again. And Joe Dumars gets it in there for 2. Now it is 12-10. We're going to pass it over to the Akron, Ohio native. So LeBron James getting it in there. It is evenly tied up 12-12. 97% in field goals and 44.8 points per game in the postseason. That is quite the accomplishment by LeBron James. And LeBron James is going to make a dunk for the Miami Heat. So this is the first slam dunk of the game. And it is now going to be 14-12. So we are going to take a break. Alright, 21-17. The Pistons are taking a 4-point lead. But not for long, because Ray Allen is going to knock a 3 down, and it's now they're going to trail by 1 point. And now Vinnie Johnson is going to have possession of the basketball. Don't know where he's actually going to pass it to, but he is going to go into the paint. And he's going to pass it over to Rick Mayhorn, and then Johnson 13.1 seconds are left. We're just going to dribble it out to end the first quarter. And there's 7 seconds remaining. Mike Miller going to pass it over to Rashad Lewis. And this ends the first quarter here in the American Airlines Arena. The 88-89 Pistons are up by 3. All right, it is now 23-20, beginning of the second quarter. Pistons had 7 fast break points, and Ray Allen is going to knock a 3 down to even the game up here in Miami. So now Vinny Johnson has possession of the basketball. Where's he going to take this direction to? It looks like that he is going to pass it over to James Edwards, and it's now going to be 25-23. We're going to pass it over to Chris Bosh, and Bosh is going to make a nice slam dunk for the Miami Heat. So it's now evenly tied 25-25. And now Johnson losing the basketball. Actually, he goes to the middle of the court as a backcourt violation. So now this evidently means that they have to give the basketball to us. So now Shane Battier gets it in there for 2 in the paint. So it's now 27-25. So now Vinny Johnson with possession of the basketball. And it looks like Johnson is going to pass it over to Long. And then James Edwards with the dunk. And it is now evenly tied up 27-27. We're going to pass it over to Shane Battier. And Battier gets it in there for 2. It's now 29-27. And now Johnson with possession of the basketball. And Ray Allen, it looks like he's going to pass it over to Rashad Lewis. And then Shane Battier gets it in there for 2. It's now 31-27. And Detroit with 4 turnovers, Miami with 2, and the 12-13 Heat are going to take a timeout. We are actually going to take a break here. All right, it is now 38-33, so now Juwan Howard is going to pass it over to Shane Battier, and Battier gets it in there. It's now 40-33. Shane Battier off to a hot start today. He has 11 points in all. And the Pistons are going to take a timeout. Alright, so the Pistons were doing some minor depth chart substitutions, and so were we. And now Mark Aguirre out on the court for the Pistons. Going to pass it over to Joe Dumars. And now Dumars gets that one in there for 2. And it's now going to be 40-35. We intercept that one off to Isaiah Thomas and the Pistons. So now Mark Aguirre out on the court. He is going to get that layup in there. And now we got Dwayne Wade out on the court. We're going to pass it over to Wade. And Wade is going to knock a 3 down for the Heat. And it's now 43-37. And Isaiah Thomas is going to pass it over to Joe Dumars. And Dumars gets it in there. And it's now 43-39. We're actually going to make it 46-39 with the LeBron James 3 from behind the arc. And it's now 46-39. And now Isaiah Thomas with possession of the basketball. He's going to pass it over to Dennis Rodman. There is a foul on LeBron James, by the way. It's a shooting foul. 18.8 seconds are left in the first half. And Rodman going to attempt for the second free throw of the game. He actually gets it in there. Now LeBron James is going to pass over to Mike Miller. And then Wade gets it in there. 13.5 seconds are left in the first half, by the way. And Isaiah Thomas is going to lose the basketball now. Wade is going to make an awesome dunk. And it's now going to be 50-40. So we'll actually see you guys in the second half. It is halftime, so the Miami Heat lead this one by 8 points. So 50-42 is the halftime score. Alright, LeBron James had 21 first half points. And now this is the beginning of the second half. He is going to knock a 3 down for the Heat. And it is now going to be 53-42. So now Joe Dumars out on the court for the Pistons. Going to pass over to Bill Laimbeer. And Bill Laimbeer makes the dunk happen. It is now going to be 53-44. Wade going to make another dunk for the Heat. And it's now going to be 55-44 here at the American Airlines Arena. So now Isaiah Thomas out on the court for the Pistons. He is going to knock this one for just two simple points. And we're going to pass it over to Bosch. And then Battier along the lines make a three for Wade. And it's now 58-46. And now Joe Dumars out on the court for the Pistons. And Dumars, it looks like he's going to pass it over to Isaiah Thomas. So now Thomas, he is going to get that one in for 2 points. So it's now 58-48. LeBron James, the Akron, Ohio native, gets this one in for 2. And it is now going to be 60-48. So 26 points for him today. And Thomas and the Pistons are going to take a timeout. Alright, so now the Miami Heat have made 5 more threes than the 88-89 Pistons. So now Ray Allen is going to hit a 3, and it's now 63-61. And 10 for 12, 83% for Miami, 4 for 4 for Detroit in 3-point field goals today. Not bad by both teams, I'd have to say. I mean, it's over at 80. I call that a B. And we're going to pass it over. Going to try to hit a logo 3 from the center court. Impossible by us. So now Vinny Johnson is out on the court. Going to pass it over to Isaiah Thomas. It is now 65-63. We're going to pass over to Chalmers, and then we're going to step back, pull a 3 from the logo, missing that. Pistons are already up by 2. And Rodman gets it in there for 2 points, so it's now 67-63. And Chalmers accidentally goes out of bounds. So it is now the Pistons that have possession of the basketball. Detroit is up by 4 points. So what will they actually do to end the third quarter? They do a nice spin move. Gets a layup in there. 1.5 seconds are left in the third. We're going to pass it over to Ray Allen. Hits a buzzer beater 3 to end the third quarter. And it is now 69-66. So the Miami Heat are down by 3. Alright, and your State Farm assist of the game is coming right up. So now Joe Dumars is going to pass over to Darius Miller for that dunk. And that is the State Farm assist of the game. And now Isaiah Thomas is out on the court for the Pistons to start the fourth here in Miami. So now Thomas is going to pass over to Bill Laimbeer. Gets it in there for 2 points. We're going to pass it over to LeBron James, the Akron, Ohio native. Dunks it in. Miami is already down by 3 points. 28 points today for LeBron James, of 10 of which are in the paint. So LeBron James gonna knock a 3 down for the Heat. And it is evenly tied 71-71. So now Mark Aguirre gonna dribble the basketball. Gonna pass over to James Edwards. And now Bill Laimbeer gonna pass over to Mark Aguirre. So now Mark Aguirre gets that layup in there. It is now 73-71. And now LeBron James, he is going to make a dunk happen. It is now 73-73 tied. And now Vinny Johnson losing the basketball. Where is he going to take this direction to? Going to pass it over to Isaiah Thomas, and the Pistons take a timeout. Alright, it is now 75-81-75. LeBron James hitting a 3 for the Miami Heat, and it's now 81-78. So now Isaiah Thomas losing the basketball. So now James is going to fire another 3. And he actually misses that. So now Joe Dumars going to pass over to Mark Aguirre. So now Mark Aguirre gets this one in for 2 points. So it's Aguirre with 10 today. And it goes out of bounds. The 88-89 Pistons have possession of the basketball. And by the looks of it, it looks like the Pistons are going to win a second game here in Miami, because they did win game 2 in the Eastern Conference Finals. So we've won both of the games in Auburn Hills, Michigan. So now LeBron James hits a 3 with a minute 12 to go in the fourth quarter. Dumars going to pass it over to Rodman, and it's now 87-81. Wade going to pass it over to Chalmers. I'm actually going to try to shoot it from the logo with Wade. And I think he might have done that before, but it is an out of bounds call. The Pistons have possession of it. And there's 54 seconds left. And Thomas with possession. And now Isaiah Thomas, he's going to get that one in there for 2. And it's now 89-81. We are going to take a timeout. Isaiah Thomas is your player of the game for the Detroit Pistons. I am going to go over the numbers after the game, but now the Pistons are up by 8 points. And now LeBron James, the Akron, Ohio native, makes a slam dunk. And it's now 89-83. So the Pistons are for sure going to win this episode. There is a foul. This is game 5. There is going to be a game 6 here in Miami. So if the Heat win next episode, Eastern Conference Finals are over. So now Dwayne Wade Isaiah Thomas losing the basketball, Wade picking up the steal, and it's now going to be 89-85. So 17.4 seconds are left, and now they're going to pass it over to Joe Dumars, and there's a foul on Mario Chalmers. So 3 throw attempts, they get one of them in. They get first attempt in, second attempt in as well. So the Heat are going to take their final timeout. 14 seconds are left in the game. LeBron James with possession of the basketball. I'm thinking about doing a crossover. Gets it in there. 5.5 seconds are left. 91-87 is going to be the final here at American Airlines Arena. And the 88-89 Pistons win the second game of the Eastern Conference Finals. So it's 91-87, the final score here in Miami, Florida. And they have won games 2 and 5. So if we win next episode, the Heat are in the NBA Finals. No exceptions whatsoever. And we are going to go over the numbers right now. Go over the box score. And we're going to start off with the Pistons first, because they had won today's episode. 26 points, 1 rebound, 8 assists, 2 steals, 4 for 4 from behind the arc. Dennis Rodman, 17 points, 2 assists, 2 steals, 3 dunks. Joe Dumars, 15 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists on the day. Mark Aguirre, 10 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist in all. So now moving on to Miami, 43 points for LeBron James, 2 assists, 4 steals, and 4 dunks. Dwayne Wade, 17 points, 1 assist, 2 steals, 2 dunks on the day. Ray Allen, 12 points, 1 assist, 1 steal. Shane Battier, 11 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists on the day. Chris Bosh with only 4 points. So this wraps it up here in Miami. So we'll see you guys in Game 6.